Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Barnyard Sanctuary that we are building in Planet Zoo with the Barnyard Animal Pack. I promise you that this episode would be coming up to the channel very soon, so I'm very excited to share all of this with you. Here we have a cinematic tour of the sheep habitat that we built in the last episode, and you can see that yes, we have guests because in this episode we're going to open our zoo to the public. We will also be building a food court next to our sheep habitat. Here you can see a preview of what we will be building in this episode, and this will be the first episode where I'm going to add voiceover during the entire episode, so please bear with me as I dive into this new format, because in the poll that I shared on the channel, many of you said that you really like voiceover. So I'm listening to that and I will try to create more of them. We will also have some Houdini sheep who escaped during this episode. So let's begin. First, we will start by creating some custom benches. I will be dividing the speed build into different themes because I did a lot of small things on this episode, like creating a fountain, like creating a food court, creating the benches, the bins, and many other things. So here you can see how I'm creating like some custom benches with the pieces. I really like the haystack and the new planters that we have with some metal textures. So I added a few flowers over there, and this is like a decoration that I will be adding around the new seating that we got with the Barnyard pack. So here I have them over here, and you can see that I'm placing them in different areas around the sheep habitat. I don't know, I just think that customizing the benches can be helpful for building that realistic and unique style in the zoo, so I like to do that. Here I am starting the food court. The food court is inspired by really like the farm style. I made it simple and yet I think it looks really farm-like. And I hope you agree with me when we are done with the speed build. Please share your thoughts in the comments of what you thought about the food court and what you would like to add to this food court, because we can add it in the coming episodes. So here I am like creating a border around the area where we will have the seatings and the tables. I used the rock blueprint from the new pack and also some of the wood fences that we have, the new wood fences, and here I am using the new metal fences. I'm recoloring it to purple because I really like this color and I'm planning to use it more often in my builds. So this is like a new thing that I will be adding in my builds. I added these as, I don't know, but the metal gate reminds me of a horse ranch, so it really gives me that farm feeling. So that's why I added these in the food court. And here, of course, we have to go all the way to the corner, so I had to fix some of those details. Here I am like filtering and I covered that corner with a tree. Of course, trees and bushes and vegetation and rocks always make everything look better. So I added many of these ginkgo trees that we got in the new pack. And here I'm starting to actually build the area where people will sit. I like to keep the tables relatively far from each other because I really hate in real life when food courts have like this really crowded place where you're eating and you can almost hear other people eating because they're so close to you that you have no space. I don't know if you ever experienced that, but it's really awkward, so I want to avoid that in my zoos as much as possible. And here, after I have that area where people will sit, I started adding some food stands, and we will be creating something similar to a barn. I added 4 stands. I think the first 2 are pizza, and later on I will replace the one that I placed here with an ice cream stand with the actual facilities. And the other 2 I'm not really sure, I don't remember right now what they were, but we will see them in just a few moments when we reach that part, when we finalize the barn. Here I'm using the roof pieces and the slanted roofs to build something like a barn. You will see that later on I will recolor this because I didn't like the initial purple-ish color that I chose for that. It really didn't reminded me of a farm. So yeah, that's when I recolored it. I recolored it to red because of course the classic barn should be like red with metal or wood roofs, and I also added some planks to make it more realistic. And this is where I start decorating a little bit with the barrels and the boxes, the crates, and initially I was thinking about adding some stickers here, and I went a little bit overboard with the stickers, I think. So I decided to just remove them and use them all in other places in the sanctuary. And over here I am adding some lighting. This is something that I will need to check in future episodes because I'm not sure if I added enough lights to actually have the zoo open at night. Right now I have the day-night cycle like disabled because I am just pausing the game. So we will need to check that in a future episode. And then I added some canopies. They are simple canopies that I think match the style, the rustic style that we're going for. And over here I was trying to find a window or something that I could create over here, some of the built-in windows. And I like to add like huge signs. Maybe this could be a little bit more stylish, but I don't know, this is what I came up with at that point. Maybe I will change it in the future, not sure. Food court, and I recolored the fonts to a yellowish, and I think court will be like a pinkish color if I remember correctly. And then the window just came down to make room for those fonts, like this. Awesome. So now what am I doing here? Well, I am adding some stickers. If you they're actually called signs in the game. You can find them by filtering all the list of items with sign in construction, and they are really nice. I always recommend using them when you're building a food court. I think they look amazing. Here I am replacing, I initially placed some hot dogs here, but I changed them to ice cream. I think that will fit the theme better. And over here, this is when I found that I had some Houdini sheep. Yep, the sheep were escaping and I didn't know about it because I had an escape point here in the habitat. Make sure to check if you have any escape points before you can move on to another area of your zoo, okay? Here, I didn't realize that I had some rocks very close to the fences and the sheep could jump over them. So after I fixed that, I had to solve that by bringing in all the sheep that had escaped. So this is what you see me doing right now, looking at it from a different perspective now that I'm narrating. The voiceover is quite entertaining. Here, well, you see that many of them had escaped. We even have one in the food court. Look at him jump! Wow, I think it looks amazing. I just love the animations. I love how the team always make them look so realistic. I almost feel like I have the sheep over here. And yeah, they really come to life with the animations. That's what I love. So after I solved all of that and I brought all of them back to their habitats, and I also had to control a little bit of their population because they were having too many babies. Well, I just continued working on that. Here you can see me checking the sheep habitat to make sure that everything is okay. And now we are going to continue building because that problem was solved. We have ATMs. Yep, I think that is super important to add an ATM next to anything where people might need cash. And I'm also adding some donation bins in key parts of the habitat close to the sheep because people may want to donate, and that's what we are here for. We're here to take their donations and to help recover our animals in the sanctuary. And of course, if we have guests, they will need toilets unless we want them to be in the sanctuary for less than half an hour, let's say, and that's not good for us. So I added some toilet facilities over here with the grid pieces. I built a very simple structure that I may expand in the future, but I think it looks nice with the simple style that we are going for. I want this to be a simple farm, not a really complex zoo or structure. I just want to keep it simple and have fun while building it. at this point and just make it feel like a sanctuary for animals that have been neglected, for farm animals that have been neglected. So that is what I am building this sanctuary for. And I think it's a really amazing cause. I've watched shows and initiatives that do this, and I really admire everyone there. So kudos to everyone who is actually really working on creating a sanctuary for neglected animals. You are amazing. And back to our build, well, we are building the toilets. We have some seating outside of the toilets because usually you will have some family members waiting for you outside the toilet so they can wait there. I also have the trash bin in case you want to throw away something, some trash. And I ended up going with the more traditional lighting. I tested like 10 or 15 lights before that and I ended up going with the traditional one, and now we go to nature. Nature is my favorite part of building in Planet Zoo, I think. I created like this grass patch with some wildflowers. I absolutely love the wildflowers. I think they look amazing and natural, and yeah, I don't know, I think it goes really well with our natural theme over here. I thought about adding the flowers in the middle at first, but then I said no, it's going to be really like, it's going to interrupt where people are walking. So I just ended up adding some of them in between the tables, so that's another kind of separation between them. And now I'm going to build a fountain. Here we are behind the sheep habitat. You can see the toilets over here, and just behind that we're going to build a fountain. And this is a tip that I learned recently, and it's like super nice. You can build a fountain with the built-in barriers, but they have to be waterproof. So if you choose one of those waterproof barriers, you can add water and then bring them down as much as you can, and then add some water plants, and it will look really nice. I like to add some special effects like the water jet. You have large ones, you have medium ones, and you have small ones. I like to add a large one in the center and two medium ones on the sides. And I don't know, I think it looks like those traditional fountains that we see on the parks and theme parks that we have, so that we see in real life. Then I started choosing some trees for that, but then I decided to actually make a path behind the fountain to give people a chance to go to the food court instead if they chose to take a look at the sheep first. So they can take a detour behind the fountain and discover a secret trail. You will see me decorating this with a lot of foliage. I created something, I think it looked really nice behind the restrooms, the toilets, with these new foliage that we have with the Barnyard pack. I also added some ginkgo trees over here, ginkgo trees. I ended up using only one because you will see what I am about to add right now. More wildflowers and sunflowers. This was a great addition with the Barnyard pack. I really love sunflowers, and well, I just wanted to include them there in the secret passage behind the fountain. And here you will see me going back to the entrance. Yeah, I went all over the place with this build, but I just wanted to add some little details because we were going to open to the public, so I didn't want the entrance to be so simple or plain. I started adding some trees and some grass because we want to make that overgrown grass look in the entrance. That's what I was going for. And I added some grass on both sides and some grass on the actual edges of the path, the borders, so we cannot see them, and that makes the transition look more natural, I think. And I also added some wildflowers to stay consistent with the theme of the food court. Remember that we had some wildflowers over there. Now I went to fill in these corners. I don't like to have those corners like open there, and we had these new pieces, so I thought about closing them. And well, here we have some power generators and trash bins. Yeah, you can see that I did a lot in this episode. I added a power generator because we didn't have vendors, because we didn't have powers in the food court, so I added that. and some trash bins. Awesome! So now it's time to open our zoo. Hi everyone, welcome to Barnyard Sanctuary. It's great to see those smiley faces. This is the time when I opened the zoo, but then I realized that I didn't include an information center, so I added that, and I also added a small gift shop. I am planning to create a custom gift shop or with the souvenir shop that we had with one of the latest updates. I really love them. But I think that for now, this small gift shop will be enough. And over here we see our beautiful sheep and our guests. I made this habitat an animal interaction habitat, so people can just walk around the habitat and wash their hands afterwards. You can see them here and interact with the beautiful sheep. I really love how this is looking right now. I really hope that at some point the Planet Zoo team will add a feature to limit how many guests can roam around inside the habitat to make the overall habitat look less crowded. But what we have so far is just amazing and I absolutely love it. I love this addition. Here you will also see me assigning different staff to different work zones. I created 2 work zones. Maybe we'll need to change this distribution as the sanctuary grows. But right now, yeah, I am just adding them to the 2 work zones. We have vendors, we have keepers. Right now I think we're good on staff. We have unlimited resources because I'm playing in sandbox mode at this point. But yeah, I still like to keep everything organized and keep the staff as needed. And well, here I am again handling the work zone, seeing if I have any unassigned staff. And I am creating the work zone over here, the food court and fountain. I'm adding some facilities here for the food court and fountain, also adding the staff facilities. Yeah, so this was our 2nd episode. I hope you like it. This is like an air view of our sheep habitat, and this is a cinematic tour of our food court, what it looks like from the guest perspective. So enjoy. I hope you like this episode. Here we have our food court, our tables, our barn. I think this could be like a barn. You can see people buying ice cream for their children and for themselves. I love ice cream. I love ice cream too. And yeah, I think it looks nice. It goes with the simple yet rural theme that I was going for. And over here we have our sheep habitat with the pieces from the Barnyard pack. I hope you liked this episode. Please let me know in the comments what you think about this build, about this series. Are you excited? In the next episode, we're going to be building for the Sussex Chicken. I already have the episode recorded and I just need to edit it, and I will be publishing that, sharing that on the channel. Also, please let me know what animal you would like me to build for next in this sanctuary. Awesome, so I will see you in the next episode, and you're welcome to check out my other videos on my channel. Have an awesome day and have fun playing Planet Zoo.